Signs in the sun, moon, and stars. Mazzaroth Decoded, number 18. Welcome back, family. Forgive me, it has been a rough road lately, but we're doing our best to bring forth what we can see in the heavens. There's a lot going on with me having no place to live right now, so it's been a little bit difficult to make a lot of this stuff functional, but we're going to do our best here. We're going to take a step back a day. We're going to start on the 4th of April, and then we're going to go through the 7th. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Again, just forgive me. I don't have a lab set up or a studio or anything to do this proper. I'm literally doing it on a stool, and I'm just making do with the things that I have. So hopefully everybody enjoys this. Let's get going. Okay, so we're taking a step back. We're looking at yesterday. This is 4/4/2025. We're looking at Asteroid Hebe aligning with the hand of the water bearer. It also aligns with what they call the yoke. This is something that can be used with animals. It was also used to carry heavy objects over the shoulders. You can see that here. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the stellarium image. You can see that these stars in the hand of Aquarius are holding a yoke that goes across his shoulder. And this is what holds the urns of water or oil or whatever they're carrying. Because it can be both. This can be water and it can also be oil for the anointing. And that's a whole nother video. But we are looking at Asteroid Hebe aligning with the hand of Aquarius. And I wanted to look here real quick. This um, let's go up here really quick. This is the yoke in scripture. And I found this very interesting when I was doing my study in the New Testament. The yoke takes on additional spiritual significance. Jesus Christ uses the metaphor of the yoke to describe the nature of discipleship and the rest found in him. In Matthew 11:29-30, Jesus invites, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Here, the yoke represents the teachings and guidance of Christ, which, unlike the burdensome yoke of the law, offers rest and peace. And I thought that was very beautiful. With this alignment, let's go ahead and pull up these codes. These are the asteroid codes for Asteroid Hebe. It equals the end is here. Vaccination, mark of the beast, image of Satan. A COVID vaccine. Vaccine search. Beast test, Monsanto. A satanic mark. Forehead sign. Witchcraft, pagan child sacrifice, I pet goat too. Wake up, Neo. Golden horse, golden circle. Love, Bible code, Noahide laws, and men in black hats. We all can see those connections, and we can see that this alignment is happening at the end of the day yesterday, and this is from the Pacific Coast. In Oregon, I make all of my determinations from here where I am. And this again is Asteroid Hebe. This is our first sign. Yesterday, we were also looking at Mercury. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. Um, and Mercury, and what we want to show you here is at the end of the day, you can see right here where the grids come into alignment with Mercury. It's actually, I believe it's actually for, uh, let's see, I believe it's, mm, I have to, I think I need to use the other software to do these types of determinations to get them exact. But what we're looking at is Mercury at the North Node in Pisces. And this is a very important sign because we're looking at number one. I think I already made a post about it. Um, we're watching Mercury make its transition below the ecliptic, and we can see that happening right here on the 6th. We're watching Mercury enter below the ecliptic. This is very, very, very important timing on what we're looking for in the signs, and we're going to show you the connections. Again, Mercury is going into the underworld with Saturn and Neptune. And most of the time, the planets traverse above the ecliptic, but there we always tend to see Saturn and Neptune below the ecliptic. Both of them are considered water signs. The house of Aquarius is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, and we're about to see Saturn transition. This is also one of the signs. Um, we're about to see Saturn transition out of the house of Aquarius. Let's get these out of here. And this can let you see where the approximations of the constellation lines. And you can see that Saturn is in transition now into the crossover. And we normally consider right here to about right here as your transition times. So we are looking at that timing of Saturn moving into the house of the fish And it's very important with this sign having Mercury, excuse me, fam, Mercury going below the ecliptic, which means the messenger is entering basically into the underworld. And we're going to get into that as we get closer to these days. But this is a very, very important sign in the heavens. Again, yesterday, Mercury aligned with the northern node. Then we have asteroid Hebe marking Aquarius, and the water of the water urn, because it's attached to the hand guiding the yoke. And again, these are all things that are connected with these signs of the Mazzaroth. These are all pictures of Christ holding the waters. This can be seen as again, a blessing sign, as in an anointing. It can also be seen as a sign of resurrection through the waters, the bathing waters, the water ritual in the mitzvahs, or in like with John the Baptist. The waters of baptism are considered a renewal process, and it is a representation of resurrection. And if you look directly below the feet of Aquarius, you have a Formalhaut, and then down further past Sculptor, you have the Phoenix. And these are all connected to our resurrection signs. And we are about to see Saturn transition out of the house of Aquarius into that house of the fish. And all of these signs that are leading up to that timing are very, very important for us to keep watch of. So our next sign, let's go to asteroid Apostle. And this again is on the 4th. Let's go ahead and get it up. And we're looking at asteroid Apostle. And this is aligning with the club of Orion. And this is a very important spot in the heavens. It is pointing directly through what we would call the Silver Gate. And it's directly in the middle of the Milky Way. Give me 1 second, family. I have to get something to drink. Give me 1 second. Okay. So if we look at the alignment here, we can see on 4/4, just before noon Pacific time, we can see the alignment of Apostle. It has been in the club for days, and now it's transitioning out of the club. And if you look to the left, you can see the moon aligning with Castor. And this is basically a double bride sign, because Castor, in the ancient depiction of the constellation, Castor was the bride, and the moon is a representation of the bride. So we're looking at another bride sign, apostle. This can be looked at as the called out bride, the apostles of Christ, the disciples of Christ, those who have a deep relationship with him, who are following him and are watching all of the signs, who are looking for all of the signs in any way that they can. And that is a daily process. We don't sometimes watch the signs. This is a call for all of us to do this daily. If you're a bride and you're waiting for your bridegroom, you don't give up on that watch some days. You have a deep, deep yearning for your bridegroom to come back to you. And until that day happens, you're watching every second. And I think that's what's missing with a lot of people in the church. I think they show up on Sundays and they have one day where they have a relationship with Christ, and it seems that it's very superficial, and then it's more of a social gathering, and then they go back to their lives in the world, and then the following Sunday they show up and do it all over again. To me, that's called ritual, and it's not really a personal relationship. And I think Christ is calling us to an intimate personal relationship him with him, and that like a bridegroom, we should be extremely excited for the things that we see that are pointing to his coming, and that happens multiple ways. I have the gift of looking at these signs in the heavens, and it's something that I've spent the majority of my life on, and I get so excited about this. I can't I can't put these things down, and I continue to learn every day because I'm constantly looking for what Messiah is trying to show me in the heavens, and it's just a never ending story. So let's go ahead and take a look at the codes for Apostle. And we're looking at Asteroid Apostle, Calm Before the Storm, Father the Messenger, Trumpets, the Great Disappearance, Found the bride of me, God, the crucified Messiah, the serpent bearer, son of perdition, Messiah returned, dedication to Christ, I accept the atonement, the real bride of Christ, rapturous day, set the great escape, the CERN catastrophe, believers removed. Chinese dragon has risen. It's a rare birth of time, enslaved to Matrix. Very powerful codes. We're looking at Apostle. Again, it's aligned with the moon. And this was the alignment yesterday around noon. And again, forgive me for playing catch up, but I had to work and I was so beat I couldn't do anything yesterday. I'm lucky I'm even on here right now. The job put it to me. As many of you know, I have a severely broken spine. My L2 is completely fused now to my L3 because it was essentially blown to pieces. And it took years for it to settle, and it finally grew together with L3. So it's been very difficult doing anything, and I'm just happy to be walking. Um, so I have I have my friend showing back up. I can hear him showing up on his motorcycle. So what I'm going to have to do is pause this, and I'm going to have to get back as soon as he's done, and I can let him know I'm doing a video. So give me just a little bit, family. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, our next asteroid is Apollinaire. I think I spell it. There we go. Okay, this one is also on the fourth. It's later in the day on the fourth. So we can see that alignment here. And we're looking at Apollinaire aligning with the resurrection temple at the end of the day last night. And we can see Herculina is still inside of the sacrifice temple. And now we see Apollinaire is moving into alignment with the resurrection temple, which is the backside of the constellation of Capricorn. Let's go ahead and look at those codes. That is a brand new find. I just found this asteroid. This is again making its alignment with Theta Capricorni, and that is the entrance to the resurrection temple in Capricorn. Asteroid Apollinaire equals killed serpent in garden, artificial intelligence, decode, phoenix rising, total lunar eclipse, Antiochus Epiphanes, concentration camps, the Lord of the Rings, reptilian bloodlines. I am living word of God. I'm Holy Grail, a prison break Messiah. See the chosen one taken K God. Be disciple of all nations. Great awakening reset. Passover Exodus. His Majesty the King. Nuclear War Russia. Decode portal activated and false flag nuclear America. Serious codes. Very some of the most serious codes I've seen for any of these asteroids. And that again was last night, just before midnight. We're looking at Apollinaire entering into the resurrection temple, and we can see Herculina is inside of the sacrifice temple. Now we're going to Saras. We've been tracking this one for a very long time. For those of you who don't know, Saras is essentially a minor planet. It's so big. It is actually the number one asteroid. You can see here on the left, one Saras. This is the very first asteroid named. It was actually um, considered a planet at one time. And if you go to the Wikipedia here on the left, You can look at the Saras mythology. Saras is considered the goddess of marriage. And we're looking at Saras making an alignment with the water stream of Aquarius. And this is happening the day after Hebe makes an alignment with the hand of the water bearer and the yoke. And we can see that as Hebe aligning with the yoke so that Aquarius can turn the water urn and make a blessing onto Ceres for the wedding. This can be seen as a anointing for the judge of the wedding. And that is asteroid or minor planet Ceres, again aligning with the water stream of Aquarius, another great marriage sign in the heavens. Now let's go ahead and look at Anastroda. Here's another brand new one that I just found. This is Anastroda, and we can see that Anastroda is moving out of the sacrifice temple, and we'll watch that here. Well, it's almost at the very end of the day tomorrow. And we're looking at 11:39. We're looking at Asteroid Anastroda exiting the temple of sacrifice or death. And then we can watch this transition. And then on the 12th, Anastroda will enter into the temple of resurrection. And that's very, very, very important. We're looking at a 6-day transition of Anastroda. Let's look at these codes. Again, this is a brand new one. I just found this one. These are some more real deep codes. This is Asteroid Anastroda, Bottomless Pit. I'm a lion hunting the cabal, okay? See cabal be sinking in quicksand. Insurrection. Metatron's cube, Last Supper. Put God first, the son of perdition. Last days, Babylon is fallen. Symbol of Lambda. Month of regeneration. Blood moon ritual, ritual sacrifices, divine revelation, January 12th. If you don't know and you're new to the channel, January 12th is the first day of Mazzaroth Hanukkah. And January 11th is the 24th day of the 9th month on the Mazzaroth Exodus calendar. And then we have Enoch, Thoth, and Hermes. And as I've been telling you, Thoth and Hermes are also equated with Enoch, and it shows up in the codes. In the cloud, the Lord, and Mark the Phoenix. Again, we're getting more of the Phoenix signs. And if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that the Phoenix is a sign of the resurrection and rebirth. So now we're going to be looking at the signs for 4-7. And let's go ahead and go to Mercury. And we can see here Let's go ahead and scroll in and let's pull up the exact time. I think it's actually on the 6th. Yeah. Okay, so what we're looking at here is Mercury dead on the ecliptic, and this is Mercury's transition into the underworld. The ecliptic is considered the line. Some say that this is the line above and below the sea. And that's why we can see that Cetus, the waters being poured into the sea, and we can see the fish is in the sea. The other fish of Capricorn is in the underworld. Some of the artwork shows it above, but this part of the actual depiction of the constellation is below the ecliptic. Aquarius, the waterman, is half below the ecliptic. Cetus is below the ecliptic, and the bands of Pisces are mostly below the ecliptic. You also have Eridanus below the ecliptic. You have Orion that's below the ecliptic. These are all considered water signs, and even the Phoenix is something that rises above, and this is considered the underworld or the sea. We're looking at Mercury entering below the ecliptic, and we can see right here this is transitioning into where Saturn and Neptune are. And this to me is the messenger giving the message to the underworld gods. Saturn can be looked at as um, the Anunnaki Enlil, and Neptune can be seen as the Anunnaki Enki or Ea. And these two ruling gods, um, the overlords, you can call them. They are rulers of the physical domain, and all of these ruling um, overlords, we'll just call them the overlords. They are about to be judged, and this is a message from the archangel Raphael, which is the ruling angel of Mercury. Again, Raphael is a message, an angel messenger of healing, and this is the message of Christ that the healing is already been done, and the game is up, the jig is up, and the time is come, and now the messenger goes into the underworld to preach the message just as Christ did at his death. He went below into the underworld for 3 days and 3 nights, and this again is a depiction here with Mercury entering into the underworld to bring a message to those uh, physical rulers that rule this domain. And we'll leave it at that. There we could go hours into what this means in the heavens, because it is a very deep sign. We're not going to go into the details. I think most of you who have been following this channel for a while, you know that not everything is as it seems, and we can see the heavens screaming to us about these signs and trying to make us aware of the ancient history coming to life. So we have Mercury on the 7th, just before midnight on the 6th, actually transitioning, and then let's see. what the time is for it to make its full transition. Yeah, so it right before midnight, it is fully in the underworld at like 11 p.m. Tomorrow evening. Mercury will transition into the sea or the underworld. Again, Neptune is the god of the sea. This is the Anunnaki Enki in Sumerian uh, books and literature and writings in cuneiform. We can go read all about Enki, who became Neptune in the Greek and Roman times. And also Saturn, before it was called Saturn. Um, we can go back way, way back, and we can open up a whole can of worms with the black cube of Saturn, and Saturn being the first sun. And there is a whole, I mean, you could really go deep into that whole thing, but we don't have the time here. We're going to show you this transition one more time. Now we have the 7th as the midday, 6th as the beginning, and now we have the int as all the way in, and we can see how Mercury transitions around Neptune and is in the underworld until it gets back to the sun. And we're looking at transition day on the 26th and 27th of May. So there is a journey in the underworld for Mercury. This is Archangel Raphael, and this is a very important message to those underworld controllers. Now let's go to Yenomia. This is Asteroid Yenomia. And this is one of the most exciting signs here. This is Asteroid Yenomia making its alignment with one Geminorium, and this is one of the most incredible alignments. It just doesn't normally happen like this, family. These asteroids. Let's go ahead and look at these codes before we even go here, because I really want to show you from the beginning how you just can't make these things up. These codes add so much to these breakdowns and these decodes. It adds a whole nother layer that is really, really special. And I learned about this a long time ago when I was doing some Bible code research. I started getting all of these gematria codes, and I was like, what is all of this stuff? And it just led me into doing a whole bunch of research into gematria, and I was already really, really deep into doing Bible code research, and it became so spectacular with these um, Mazzaroth decodes that I've just gone head in with this, and I can't even put it down now because they bring so much to the table when it comes to the depth of what we're talking about. So here we can look at Asteroid Eunomia, aligning with the foot of the bride. Remember, Castor is the bride. This is one Genorium, and asteroid Eunomia equals timed rapture, the bride of Christ. It's time to come home. The great awakening, daughter of Zion, equinox, the Bible in the stars, stellar gateway, chosen messenger, true messenger. I'm God's warrior. The Virgin Mary, Son of Man revealed, days of judgment, Enki is Saturn. So here I just got corrected by the codes. We were just looking, let's go ahead and look back. Um, we're looking at Neptune is a representation of Enki. And we also have Saturn as a representation of Enki. So this, I thought this was his brother Enlil, but it looks as though the codes are aligned with both of these signs of being a representation of Enki, and that makes sense because uh, Saturn is considered Satan, and that would be the serpent in the garden, and Enki is the serpent in the garden. Neptune being the sign of the god of the sea, and that also is a prime example of the Anunnaki Enki or Ea. And Saturn is also can be looked at. I think both of these signs uh, can possibly have a dual meaning and also equate to um, both Enki and Enlil. I have to do some more research into that. But I believe that this is a message to those Anunnaki gods, and Mercury entering into the underworld is a very, very important sign. And let's go back to that. So we're looking at Enki is Saturn, also NATO Death Squad, the Antichrist mark, crash the internet, and nuke Damascus. All of the things that we're looking at for these end time signs, very, very powerful codes. Um, let's go to our next sign is Amphitrite, and this has always been one of my favorite signs. It's always been in the mix, especially when it comes to these bride signs. It seems to always be showing up. We're looking at right on the border. Look at this family. This is the moon and asteroid Amphitrite aligning. This is actually, if we look, I believe it's an occultation. Let's look. I'm gonna have to come out of. And let's go ahead and watch this and see if it's an occultation. Yeah. So Amphitrite disappears behind the moon, which is an occultation, and we can see that here. And then boom, she pops back out. So this is on the 7th. We have the alignment of asteroid Amphitrite with the bride. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know Amphitrite equals Mary Magdalene, High Priest, the Essenes, Redemption, Tribe of Judah, Face of the Lion. And before we go forward, just look at the location, family. It's right at the face of the lion. Gabriel, the archangel, the black swan, Milky Way, a reset plan, the red dragon, Star Wars, planet Mars, zodiacs, a clue, Hebrew calendar, and Star of David. Amphitrite's always had very, very strong signs, and Amphitrite was in Leo forever and now is transitioned into the Cancer constellation for a very short amount of time and then is moving right back into Leo. And here we see this alignment. To me, it's a sign of Mary Magdalene. And to me, that's a very, very powerful sign for the called out bride. So let's look at our last sign is Veslada. And we're looking at asteroid Veslada. And that also begins on the 7th. Right here, we can see asteroid Veslada aligning with the Club of Orion. If you remember, on the 4th, we saw Hebe exiting the Club of Orion, and now we see 3 days later Veslada marking Orion's club again, and it will be here for a whole week until the 14th. So let's look at those codes. And this is asteroid Veslada world currency. Now is come the trumpet. You are crowning. Frequency weapon. Invisible war. Black plague is next. Order of Melchizedek. The planet Venus. Now let's look at that really quick because we can see Venus is in the head of the fish. And again, I've been pointing out that this is a warning to the general church, the people who are essentially what we would call the sleeping church. They're not awake, they're not watching, they're not aware. They're not paying attention to the signs. And this is like a wake up call in the heavens. And we're looking at Venus about to transition out on the 16th. And this is, I believe it was the 31st where Venus entered. And Venus is basically giving a warning for 15 days and then it exits the head of the fish. And to me, this is a warning sign, and it can also be seen as connected to the Mercury entering below the ecliptic because it's all in the same area of the Mazzaroth. So let's go back to and we can see these codes. Uh, And so we ended on planet Venus, 10 crowns on its horns, break the matrix code. I am activating all codes for rapture, the 7th gate code. I'm Ophiuchus David. 11. Stargate. Countdown to ascension. Bring down the matrix grid. My God is Jesus Christ. Ma'at powers Isis. Magnetic pole shift. The serpent's gate. The way home, or face the fire. This is April 7th, asteroid Veslada, aligning with the club again. As I said, this is between the 14th and the 7th. This is Veslada, marking the club of Orion directly in the Silver Gate. This is another very, very important part of the heavens. Hopefully, I have it in me to do my video tomorrow about the chariots of fire. It's really a spectacular breakdown, but it's gonna take some time, and I got to make sure I have enough energy. I'm just straight beat from the job I did. Um, so I wanted to make sure we got these um, signs covered until the 7th, and then that way tomorrow or the 7th I can do the other video. Um, we're supposed to get some storms, and I may be going camping, so give me 1 second. We got a visitor here. Hold on. Okay, so again, this is all signs pointing to a very important part of the heavens with this Veslada. And also, if you remember in the beginning, we were talking about Hebe marking this same area. This is also aligned with Betelgeuse here on the 7th, and it's going on the ecliptic, it's going directly through Auriga, and I'll be making a whole bunch of detailed information about this Auriga sign. Brother Dana channel had a breakdown of the iPet Goat 2 sign with Camelopardis, Camelopardalis, Auriga, and Gemini. And I have something that I wanted to add to his iPet Goat to a breakdown. And what I found is absolutely spectacular. It's a slightly different understanding, and I hope that everybody will join us to see what I found in the Mazzaroth. It's pretty spectacular. And again, if you go to Brother Dana's channel, he did a breakdown of iPet Goat 2 with, again, with this. There's a line going from Camelopardalis, Auriga to Gemini, and it's a breakdown of I, Pet, Goat, Q. This camel is seen as the I. Auriga is seen as the pet goat because Auriga is holding the goats, and then his understanding is that Gemini is the Q. And again, we're going to do a breakdown hopefully tomorrow. And I think you're going to be blown away at the things that I found in the heavens. Um, I want to thank everybody for coming. Much love. And hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day and stay blessed.